In the last 90 days, I've sold $463.11 worth of cordless phones on eBay. Now, that might not sound like a lot until you take into account a couple of factors. First of all, for the greater part of the last 90 days, Value Village has not been open, which means I haven't been able to actually buy or add any to my inventory. Another thing to note is I actually only had about 30-40 of these in inventory over the 90-day period. And another thing to note is that I usually on average pay $3 to $4 per each phone. So when you think about that compared to how much I've actually spent on cordless phones, $463.11 is actually a pretty impressive number. That's why at the start of today's video, I'm going to briefly talk about why I keep buying these cordless phones and why I think they might be one of the best hustles right now on eBay. Nobody's talking about them. I get it in my comments all the time. Why do you keep buying these cordless phones? They don't sell. Nobody uses these anymore. They're super outdated and whatever. Number one thing that you'll find on eBay is that a lot of the stuff that you're going to sell might seem to you as being super outdated. You know, maybe you've skipped off of cordless phones and stopped using them for the last 5-10 years, whatever. Whether it be an old iPhone that you have no use for because you have the latest one, or maybe an old piece of technology that you don't see any value in, a VHS player, whatever that might be. What we fail to realize as resellers is that oftentimes there's a lot of people out there that actually still use this technology. Whether it be as a hobbyist thing or an actual utility to their daily life, whatever that might be, it's not our job as resellers to figure out why it is that they're buying it, but there are people out there that are buying these things. With that in mind, cordless phones slide right into that category very nicely. You see, cordless phones are one of those things that are handheld devices. You move them all around the house, you're always using them, and for that reason they tend to get lost. So being able to resell one like this as a replacement unit can actually be worth quite a bit of money because it's a lot cheaper for the person on the other end than buying a whole new set, but they can just get the one that they need for a relatively decent price. Here's the kicker though. This is one of the products that when I outline things I want to sell on eBay ticks all the boxes in terms of the right product to sell. First of all, they're cheap to buy. Very low cost to entry, very low barrier to entry. They're about $3-4 a piece. Second thing is that you can find them basically anywhere that you go. There's a lot of supply of them. Whether you go to Value Villages, Goodwill, Facebook Marketplace, whatever that might be, you can get these quite often. Third thing is their size. They're very small and easy to ship. You can ship them in a poly mailer, a bubble mailer, a small box, but either way, they're always going to be pretty affordable to ship, whether that be anywhere in Canada or the States, and again, they're very easy to pack. The fourth thing is that there's a market there for them, so there's definitely enough volume of sales that it actually is sustainable. And the fifth thing is that, again, their size, they're relatively compact and they're easy to store. And as a bonus as well, they're very simple to test. Overall, they're just a really great product. Now, this isn't necessarily some sort of holy grail or gold mine. There's still a lot of work involved in this product, and there's still not amazing sell-through rates on it. But with that being said, what I've noticed is that the difference between the buy price and the sell price leaves a great margin. There's enough room for money to be made, and you can find these things basically all the time. And although they take a little bit of time to sell, that's sort of the one downside. If you compare them to video games, for example, oftentimes the average shelf life for these is usually 3 months, which means that you're going to be holding on to them for quite a while. But if you can build enough volume of them or have enough of them in your stock, then you'll tend to start selling them every single week like I have been here. So what I recommend that you start picking these up and selling them, what I would say is maybe you should start off by just maybe picking out a couple of them, looking at the sold comps on them and finding ones that are actually good. There's definitely ones that sell more than other ones, so you want to kind of get familiar with the models. Also, the brands are a big thing that matter. You got to do your research into this before you just go out and buy them, because I pass up a whole bunch of cordless phones that are definitely not valuable at Value Village, so you don't just want to go and pick up everything that you see. You need to know what you're looking for. But if you have the time and you're looking for something easy to add to your eBay store that you can maybe find every single time that you go to the store, this might be the thing that you're looking for. And that is what's going to perfectly segue into my second 2021 Value Village haul. So just for a little bit of reference, I paid $56.65 for everything that you're about to see. First of all, we got a white Uniden phone. I paid $4.99 on this one, a little bit higher, but the Uniden phones tend to sell well, so hopefully that'll be good. I got a black Uniden phone for the same price, pretty decent there. We've got a nice old Panasonic. This is a 101 CS model, not as good as the 660, but should still bring in some good money. And then a nice little VTech model here with the red stand, $3.99 on that one, no cables, but I can sell it as a replacement unit, so that should be good. Also in the bag here, a PlayStation 2 controller, paid $7.99 on this. I paid up for this one, but it looks like it's in mint condition. There's also a couple of walkie-talkie things in the bag, which I'm assuming I'm just gonna end up throwing out. But yeah, the PlayStation 2 controller, paid up for it, but we should be able to get close to 20 for this, so we shouldn't be too far off there, and hopefully this will be okay. And this is where it gets sort of exciting. I got this box right here, and I noticed it on the shelf. It said KXTGA283CSK, which is a Panasonic phone model. And sure enough, I open up the box and it's just packed full of phone stuff. I bought a box like this not too long ago. It was actually a very large box. It was this box right here, and you'll see on the sticker I paid $9.99 for it, and it actually contained like 6 or 7, maybe even more, maybe 8, 10 sets of different phones. This box ended up making me at least $200, I think, maybe 150, 200 bucks. So we did really well on this one. So I got quite excited when I saw this, but I actually believe this is all one set. See, we've got the main phone here, and then we've got a whole bunch of these 470 units, and these 470 units have sold well for me in the past, so I'm thinking this will be a great box, but there's at least 4 of them in here here with the bases. This is gonna be a huge box right here, probably $100. And yeah, so I paid up on that $15 for the box there, but overall we should make some good money on it. Then the last thing that I picked up, continuing on with the phones, was the AT&T business phone right here. This is a 4-line business phone. I've sold these before in the past as well. I think I've sold some Uniden ones and what else? I can't remember, but I've definitely sold a few business phones in the past here. And this one is, I don't know if it's new in box. I don't think it is. No, it's definitely not new in box, but I'm gonna open it up and make sure that it's all good and tested. But this could easily bring in about $60 and we paid $7.99 on it there, so not too bad. So now you see why in the intro I had to introduce the phones like that, because that was just another huge haul of phones here that's just gonna sit probably for the next few weeks and get listed. But overall, I think we're gonna see some great returns there, and I'm very happy with what I've been able to find. Okay, moving on with today's video. So I just got this box in the mail, not sure what it is, but we're gonna open it up and see. I have a good feeling that it's from JFJ. All right, here we go, opening it up, and sure enough, well, isn't this interesting? Yes, it is from JFJ. We have a USPS bag in here. How fun. Aha! This is exactly what I was hoping for. This is the Polished Compound number 2, and this is something that I was almost out of. Yeah, you can see this is my old bottle. It's right about there, left of stuff, so it is almost empty. I got 2 of them. This is a 15-ounce one. I believe they have the big ones now, like the gallon ones. I thought about getting one of those, but unfortunately the shipping price on it was just way too high. My money was better spent with these 2. I got a little bit less than I would. But yeah, just the shipping to Canada is kind of ridiculous on their site, unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's their fault or if it's just USPS because they are in California. But nevertheless, we got these 2 things, and I'm super excited because that means I can continue to refurb things. I actually wasn't out of it yet, like I was still totally fine. So I, for once, actually bought supplies before I ran out. I know, how smart, but yeah, we should be good now. Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys what I've been working on here for the last few days. We've got a bunch of piles of video games out. You guys will remember this is all from the 300 game lot that came in about a week ago now. I split that all up with Airval. His links are down below, by the way, if you want to check out his channel. But anyway, we've got all the stuff split up now, and these are the games I kept. So the remaining games, we actually got some pretty good stuff here. We got these 2 stacks. These are all perfectly tested and working and cleaned, and they all have manuals. So that's pretty good right there, and those are all ready to get listed, as well as this stuff is ready to get listed. This is another stack of perfectly working stuff, cleaned, it just doesn't have manuals. So that's all that stuff there. This is a stack of stuff that I still have to go through. This bin over here is EB Games stuff that I am currently working through and almost done testing. That's a separate lot though. Anyway, this stuff all has to still be gone through. These are all the loose discs that were remaining from there that all had to probably get refurbished and then listed. And then over here, this is the pile of games that either didn't work or just had some slight problems. Some of these have some really dirty cases I want to replace, and then other ones are just, I don't know, I think there's some really bad scratched or cracked discs in there, and then some other random things. So yeah, and then I think these 2 here, I'm not sure what the deal is with these 2 actually, I can't remember. But anyway, that's everything that I'm going through right now, and this is what I've been working on. I think we're going to probably get all these listed next video, just because I don't have the time today to do it, but that's just a little update there. And yeah, we should be able to move through these pretty quickly. One thing I'll note is I was planning to do the PlayStation 3 stuff next, so that will now come after this. I was sort of waiting to see what I was going to do, but since I already had all this stuff out, I just decided I'll just work through it quickly and get it done with. I also threw out the box, so I didn't really have anywhere to put this stuff. So anyway, we'll get it all done now. I also have another lot coming in of video games here, probably in the next week or 2, as well as a couple more things that are supposed to come in inventory-wise, and we'll be going to Valley Village. So I had to move through the stuff relatively quickly, so I'm trying to get as much done as I can. Yeah, we've got at least another maybe even another 300 games coming in, all various consoles, from a couple different lots. So we'll have to see when that stuff comes. But anyway, yeah, we've got to get this stuff out of here, as well as the other stuff that's over at the receiving shelf. And yeah, I mean, this is what the receiving shelf looks like right now. I've got all of this stuff here, which is still just some miscellaneous Xbox stuff, I believe. Actually, no, this is full now. These were all the red bins that I had. So this is full of stuff that we could list at one point. My priority, though, is to get through this stuff here. And going from the top, I think this is miscellaneous packing material and stuff, but this is all PlayStation 3. This is all PlayStation 2. That's all miscellaneous video games and other stuff. So we had to go through all of these here before the next lots come in, ideally. Also, stepping in here, you'll see my work has started on some of the books that I want to go through and list on eBay. It's going to be quite a bit of work, but at least I've started on that. And yeah, we've just got a lot going on. Oh, that's right, I had to list this too. This is a brand new with tags Fortnite sweater that retails for, what does it retail for? $39.99. We're gonna get this guy listed, and I don't know what it's gonna list for. We might get 20 bucks for it or whatever. But anyway, I figured that would be a good sell right there. Yeah, I'll probably put this on Poshmark. I don't know, but anyway, that's just another small thing there that I had to do. Anyway, that being said, that's all that has to happen for the next few weeks or so. But nevertheless, we sold some stuff on eBay, so that stuff has to be pulled right now. I'm gonna go ahead and pull all those orders, and then we'll share with you guys what the heck is going out today. All right, guys. So here's a look at everything that's going out today. It's not a huge stack, but we got a couple things in here. So let's take a look. First of all, Final Fantasy XI.
FYI. And yeah, that one sold for whatever the price is on the screen. We've got Indiana Jones, The Empire's Tomb right there. We've got Connect Disneyland right here. We've got a copy of Blood Drain for the PlayStation 2. That's a loose copy. Funny story about this one actually is that I had listed it on eBay, but I put the wrong picture with it. I put the a picture of some other game that was in this lot when I was listing it, and I messed it up. So the buyer contacted me and said, hey, you got the wrong picture in here. Is this Blood Drain or the other game? And I explained it and changed the picture. Anyway, it does go to show that I make mistakes sometimes, and I appreciate when people correct them, and also when they correct them and they buy it. That's awesome. Anyway, then we got Fear for the Xbox 360. We've got a copy of Mortal Kombat Armageddon for the PlayStation 2, also a loose copy. We've got Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock, always a good seller. We've got Max Payne for the original Xbox, and then we've got American Army for the original Xbox as well. So I'm going to go ahead and get all those guys packed up, dropped off at the post office, and then we can move on with our day. Oh, guys, that wasn't actually all the orders. I forgot about these two. These sold late last week, and I forgot to ship them out on the Friday, but anyway, they're going out today on the Monday, so we're all good. But anyway, we've got a Bell Fiber remote right here. This one sold for the price on the screen, and we were having some trouble with this one. The buyer was unable to get shipping to Canada, and I believe it's because we ended up, and obviously we shipped to Canada, but I believe it's because we ended up putting the dimensions in wrong for the actual shipping, the shipping dimensions section. I believe we put them in inches, but we accidentally selected centimeters, so it was just way too small and they couldn't get a proper quote. Anyway, we sorted that out with them, so we got that sale, and then we've got this Panasonic phone right here. This one sold for, I believe I took an offer $10 on it. But yeah, overall, some pretty good sales there, and just moving out a couple little things here so we can make some room for the new phones and whatnot that we picked up.
Okay, with all that stuff dropped off, we now have a couple things to look at. I was going to do some listings today. I was thinking I would either list one stack of these games or I was going to list some phones, but unfortunately the time has gotten away from me, and this video has to still come out. Nevertheless, so we have a couple phones here that I picked up. These are both Uniden models, and these were the ones that you saw earlier in today's video. And what I wanted to do was really quickly go through how I test and list these things in case you're interested in doing that yourself, in case you, listen to what I said at the beginning and actually want to start selling these things. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I would go ahead and test these guys and everything that I might describe on them. Okay, first thing we got to do is take all this tape off. So majority of the time you're going to find the model number either written right here on the bottom or it's going to be on the inside of the battery compartment, and there it is right there. So the Unidens and the VTECs are a little bit hard to tell, but I believe that BTB or BT8 is actually the number right there. It could, however, also be the DECT, whatever that is up at the top, but one of those is going to be the model number. You can look that up yourself when you're listing and figure out which one's which. The VTECs have an even more obvious one. The Panasonics are super obvious. The Panasonics are always like a KX whatever. But anyway, this is that one. You'll notice that there's no battery in this compartment. That's quite unfortunate because these ones actually require a special battery that plugs into that little compartment right there. So you can't just throw a standard battery in here. So that will definitely lower what we can get for this. But most of the times when I have batteries for these units, I'm listing them as untested and unsure of condition because you never know if the batteries have been used or if they have much life left in them anyway. Oftentimes the rechargeable ones though, for this phone you'd have to buy elsewhere. So anyway, not a problem. We'll just describe it like that when we list it. Usually I like to get the wipes out and give these a nice clean as well. This one actually happens to be very nice, but oftentimes you'll find these are quite grimy and gross. Also, we can see quite a bit of sticker residue on here. The thing to get this stuff off, and this is kind of like that gross rubber sticker residue stuff, and I've seen a lot of people not pick things up because of this. This is actually a very easy thing to get off. You just need a little bit of nail polish remover, and if you use that on this and scrub it, it'll actually come right off. So that's not a problem for me here. And you'll even see a couple months back, I had a Shot Erector remote just like this that was really entirely covered with this, actually two of them, and I managed to clean them all off completely and sold them for quite a bit of money. So it definitely can pay to know how to get rid of this stuff, but some nail polish remover on that will get it off there easily. Taking a quick look at the white one, we're seeing much of the same. If we open it up here, let's see if this one actually has a battery, and this one also doesn't. Perhaps these were donated by the same person, I'm not sure. I don't hate that because that at least guarantees that there's no corrosion or anything because there's no batteries that have been left in here forever. I find that a lot when buying these kind of electronics is that you will find some corrosion in a few of them, so it's not necessarily a great thing to have the batteries, but anyway, that's that. When you look at the base, often you'll see a little bit of dirt and grime in here, but nothing that you can't clean out with a quick Q-tip or a nice little paper towel, so that usually does the trick there. Also, you're going to want to make sure that the power adapter lines up. You can even double check the model number of the base against the model number of the phone and what it was supposed to come with on eBay, and then double check your power adapters as well. Anyway, so here's the deal. These don't have batteries, but I believe we can still plug them in and test them. I'm going to show you how. So I've just went ahead and plugged this base into the ground. If we plug this guy in, we should see, yep, there it is, the light. So the light will usually come on to indicate that it's charging. We won't see anything on the screen. That's probably because we don't have the battery in. Sometimes you will see something pop up here after a few minutes. Usually that only happens though when the phone has a battery in it, and then it can charge up to the first point where you can actually see stuff. So sometimes you have to leave them plugged in for a little bit. This one though shows the charging indicator right away, which means that it likely works. And this is about the extent of the charging or the testing that I'll actually do for these phones. Sometimes I'll leave them in for a few minutes and see if something pops up on the screen, but
this is basically it. So there we go. Maybe that quick little segment can give you guys a little bit of help if you are looking to get into this hustle, but definitely a good product to be selling, and I highly recommend dealing with them if, again, you have the patience to wait for them to sell, and if you have access to a local Goodwill or Value Village in your area where you can get these.
And well guys, with that said, that's actually going to wrap up today's video. Had some fun here for sure though. We got that big Value Village haul in, we got a resupply from JFJ, we were able to take a look at the few of the video games I've been working on. There'll be a video coming out, I believe on Wednesday, that talks about the entire process of those and going through and listing those on eBay. And then we were able to look at the phones, which was great as well. So for the most part, we got a good amount of stuff done. I'm happy with it. I wish that we could have done a little bit more, but that shipping just ended up taking a little bit longer than I thought. And then of course I got busy with a few other things. So anyway, we'll get some listings done this week for sure. In fact, again, I want to get a lot of stuff listed this week in an ideal world, but I'm sure that won't actually happen, but we'll see. I'm going to try to push, we'll at least have the Xbox 360 stuff done for sure. Hopefully get some of these phones listed and some of this other stuff for the new store all up and listed as well, so we can start seeing those sales convert. And yeah, with that said, I'm going to end today's video there. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to go on below and smash the like button. Be sure to leave a comment as well. Any comment that you have about this video or questions that you might have for me, I'll be sure to go and reply to those all down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I will see you guys all in the next video.